One Quarter D coming, bringing you another hobby, sports, toku, and anime. Today we're going to do some hobby things, kind of broad, kind of not really focusing on the three, but mostly hobby. But anyhow, let's talk about D&D. Now with the new movie coming out, I feel like it's a good time to talk about one of D&D's more memorable adaptations. Yes, the Saturday morning cartoon series back in the 80s. Okay, I didn't grow up with the 80s cartoon, but I saw reruns of it on the Fox Kids lineup, which I like to call the Fox Kids dub. Really, the Fox Kids dub, I think only difference is the theme song. And for example, the original show had an intro, which was kind of rare for an 80s cartoon. But however, the Fox Kids version added a theme song overlaying with the intro, so the intro has no dialogue. Okay? Got that good. Basically, if you haven't seen this 80s cartoon, which I'm only going to talk about parts of it that are kind of not like... The show's not accurate to D&D in some parts, but really that's what D&D is, a game that you make up your stuff and maybe different, and one game is different than another, which captures it. So our main characters, 6 characters, include Hank, our ranger, which is the only character I can remember his name besides Billy, our barbarian, our little kid who has a pet unicorn as the show sidekick, animal psychic trope. Yes, we need that. Then the main girl, who's basically the white girl, who's a thief, also a black girl with a pole. Then our spellcaster, Presto, which is the only character out of all the kids to have an actual normal name. I don't know why he's called Presto as his normal name, because he's a spellcaster. And basically he's a conjurer if you use D&D actual logic, D&D logic, because he's basically pulling something out of Saturn's whole character weaponry. And basically the black girl, which is our first black girl and most pop culture, it was the first female black girl in animation, being our acrobat, which I'm betting is a fighter with acrobatic skills. And I'm thinking of that scene from the movie, what's that movie? Oh, The Gamers, which we will talk for a moment, because this is just my opinion on D&D stuff for videos. Like, I just saying the 80s cartoon's kind of great, kind of not, but really the point is, and also the rich kid who is a cavalier, and basically our main villain Avenger. And if the show continued for a 4th season back in the 80s, it would have been a shakeup where the main villain becomes good. I am not kidding, that's kind of shocking for an 80s cartoon to do that, but it wasn't canon to the show, so yeah, it never happened. Officially, anyway. Now let's talk about the D&D movie from 1999. This is just, for me, a video of D&D adaptations, so I'm picking 3 D&D adaptations, and the first one was the 80s cartoon. Now it's the movie. I haven't seen much of the movie. I don't remember most of it, but I saw the review on Nostalgia Critics, sorry. So I'm just... For me, the movie is not good, but really, for me, that movie has one of the worstest parts of that movie is ripping off Indiana Jones for like trying to get the artifact plot scene, which is kind of like shot for shot based on the temple from Indiana Jones, which is kind of funny but kind of lazy. Like, also one of the Wayans brothers basically is, lesser known Wayans brother, is the main character, comedy relief. Then he gets killed off in the last third, which is kind of shocking. I'm not kidding, Google it. He was in the movie. He died. Wayans died. Rest in peace, him. The sequel wasn't really, Elemental Might tied into the first movie for like main villain's assistant, but as a movie it's not really canon. Really, the second movie's better when it comes to accuracy with D&D by adding creatures from D&D 3.5, which, speaking of 3.5, loosely, let's talk about a movie series, indie movie series that I love to like, and this is our third part of this about D&D adaptations, and our unofficial one, the Gamers trilogy. Okay, there are more movies, but really the 4th movie haven't had a streaming release yet. Even if it's been out for like 2 or 3 years, the first movie the fourth movie is basically a mini-series that continues the first movie. So, yeah, I'm mostly going to talk about the second and third movie with this rant. Well, let's go on with the first film. The first film is pretty funny as hell. The series is basically a comedy of you can't do that sort of role-playing comedy. It's really funny, really great, really good. First movie ends, and this is the spoiler part, be forewarned. In 3, 2, 1, all the players die from their characters. I'm not kidding. That's one of the best plot twist comedy jokes I have ever seen for a movie. The sequel is basically a new setting of things than the first movie. The second movie doesn't have nothing to do with the first, except that at the end movie they start their shadow returning as a weird twist for the sequel, which is basically a card game. The third movie is a card game satire, which is kind of weird because the first two were basically role-playing satires. It makes sense to change it for the third movie, plus do other stuff for spin-offs. Like, basically there are a few spin-offs for the gamers, like franchise basically being the neutral one, which is like a cyberpunk mini-series, filler series. And also it's like reverse D&D, where fantasy people, medieval people playing freaking D&D, but instead of fantasy, it's actual real life stuff. Those two shorts were kind of funny, but not really good and canonized. They're more like filler comedy. I feel like Neutral One tied into the first few movies because it has one of the recurring head punching bag characters, the character who played the bard in the second movie. Is there, but anyhow, the series is kind of niche. If you look up on YouTube, it's a good comedy, really funny, and that's it for my D&D adaptations video. There are several others adaptations, maybe one we might do eventually for on my main channel. One of my personal favorite comedies of all early web comedies, Unforgotten Realms, which I'm only doing an honorable mention here because I forgot I love it, Forgotten Realms, so that will be for another video, or maybe just a rant on a future episode. But anyhow, I just teased the future for a milestone, but let's not explain that. That will be our fifth, whenever we do a year anniversary, I'm thinking of either do Bible Man or Forgotten Realms, Unforgotten Realms as a poll, just to know as a tease. Okay? I might do either of those two things for the tease, but yeah, that's it. Hope you liked the video, and leave a comment down below if you like those 3 D&D adaptations I said. And the fourth one, I hope you get eventually for a series, but I'm not putting it here because it's really too odd. But the Gamers was a D&D movie written by D&D, a little by being like a third-party sponsor for them for 3.5, just to know. So that's why I put it in movie list. Got that? Good. Now leave a comment down below if you like it. Just comment saying bye-bye for now.